Hello everybody, how's it going today? Joe Bodone here, video blogger, internet entrepreneur. I want to talk today about attitude, okay? So when it comes to becoming successful and achieving success, a lot of times people talk about your mindset, and that's very important, but I think a lot of it comes down to, your attitude on life and your attitude about the way things are. Now, it seems pretty elementary and pretty simplistic, but there's two basic types of attitudes you can have. You can have a negative or a positive, right? Having a negative attitude will not only stop you from being successful, but it'll bring you down in life and could lead to some serious mental health issues like deep depression and sometimes even suicidal type thoughts. So having a negative attitude is something that isn't necessarily your fault. People that have negative attitudes, a lot of times it's a product of their surroundings. And just look at the world today, and I'm not, getting into what's right or what's wrong with the world, but it's obvious that there's a lot of negative things happening, and there's, your news is negative, and there's negative television, and there's so many negative inputs coming into your brain, and one of the biggest negative inputs I see a lot, at least in my life, is when I go to work. Okay, I show up to work. And, I'm just trying to get through the day. I'm just trying to do what I'm being paid to do. But, I go to the water cooler, to get a cup of coffee and a glass of water before I start my day. And I'm already, talking to 5 people that are, complaining about their job and complaining about money and complaining about what happened the night before and complaining about, what happened on the news the night before. And it's like, wow, I've been at work for 10 minutes and I've already had 5 people, bombarding me with negative stuff. And as you go throughout your day, and some people use social media, you go on social media and you're reading negative stuff as you're scrolling through Facebook or whatever you're using for social media, and and before you know it, you're just by the end of the day you're so beat down, you're so negative. They say you become what you're around, right? So if you have a negative attitude, that's going to negatively impact your business, right? One of the simplest ways to turn that around and become positive, and which is going to obviously affect your business in a good way if you start having a positive attitude, is watch who you hang around with, watch who you spend your time with, watch the inputs you're bringing into your brain. If you're watching news segments that are negative, stop watching the negative news. It's simple as that. Turn off the news. Trust me, you're not like over-informed because you're watching news. If something is important enough for you to know, you're going to find out about it, because the people around you are going to let you know if something is important enough for you to know. But, the general BS you hear on the news day in and day out is doing nothing but feeding a negative attitude, and if you have family, people that you have to be around, sometimes your family members are negative, and you can't avoid being around your family, but you can try to ignore them and not pay attention to their negativity. You can also maybe try to positively influence them. If you have negative friends and negative coworkers and negative colleagues, you can find a new job, or you can find a group of new friends, and you can find activities with like-minded people that start feeding your positive attitude. And so one of the easiest, most simple ways I say is just find some positive friends. And like I said, if that's hard for you to do, you can go to meetup.com, you can go on Facebook. There's all kind of groups that you can join online, online communities that you can, actually physically meet people, and, start looking for meetups that are relevant to interests you have in your life, and start hanging out with those people. And, you might find yourself hanging out with more positive people. And if you start doing that and you start feeding your brain with positive information, you read positive books, you give yourself positive affirmations, you stop with the negative self-talk, you do all these things, and over time, you'll begin to become positive. And, it doesn't happen overnight, but, if you give yourself a positive affirmation every day and, you tell yourself why you're happy to be here and why you're happy to be alive, and, you do that on a regular basis, you will generate a positive attitude over time. And so, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but, get rid of the negative, bring in the positive, and, it can have a profound impact on your life. It can change your life by simply changing the way you think. Just try to be happy in every situation. I don't care how dire the situation is, how bad the situation is, there's always something good you can find in every single situation. So, focus on that. Your attitude will improve, and so will your business. So, once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.